Incoming transmission standby. Welcome to the Nod News Network. A source told the veteran journalist that Kiev and Washington are misleading the public about the real situation. U.S. intelligence analysts believe that Ukraine has given up its counteroffensive against Russia and that the only thing prolonging the conflict is Washington and Kiev's reluctance to admit their defeat, a source told the investigative journalist Seymour Hersh. Writing on Substack on Thursday, the veteran journalist cited an unnamed source who spent the early years of his career fighting Soviet aggression and espionage, refuting the story of Ukraine on slow but steady progress in its counteroffensive. According to Hersh, it's all a lie. The war is over, Russia has won. There are no more Ukrainian attacks, but the White House and the US media must continue to lie. He explains, this view is shared by many figures in the US intelligence community, and the CIA in particular has been skeptical of Kiev's claims that it will continue to move forward, unlike the agency. Trent Moore, director of analysis at the DIA, praised Ukraine's success in The Economist earlier this month and said Kiev's forces have a realistic chance of breaching Russia's defenses this year. The British newspaper compared that assessment with that of an unnamed senior US intelligence official, who said the battlefield will likely be the same over the next 5 years. Sources quoted by Hersh criticized leaders in Moscow and Washington for acting stupidly during the crisis. He argued that Russian President Vladimir Putin had instigated violations of the United Nations Charter by a poorly prepared military campaign. US President Joe Biden responded with a proxy war and had to rely on the media slandering Putin to justify his mistakes. The truth is that if the Ukrainian army was ordered to continue attacking, they would mutiny. Soldiers don't want to die anymore, but that doesn't mean it's BS. It's being drafted by the Biden White House, the source concluded. Moscow has rejected US claims that the operation against Ukraine was an act of unprovoked aggression, stressing that the people of Donbass have the right to self-determination under the United Nations Charter and that Moscow acted appropriately in separating from Ukraine after the 2014 armed coup in Kiev. The Russian government claims to have acted legally when it recognized the independence of the Donetsk and Lugansk People's Republics in February 2022. A few days later, after Kiev refused to stop its attacks on Donbass and withdraw its troops, Moscow launched its offensive. This has been the Nod News Network, transmission complete.